lead us into the holiest place? What part of Jesus will lead us into the holiest place? Because that's where he came to take us. And so whatever way we think about what it means to follow Jesus, it must be able to take us into the holiest place. And I hate to break it to everybody, but unless you're going to follow the way of Cain, you ain't going to get into the holiest place with all your works of service.
Right.
As many people as I may touch by preaching the gospel to them, that ain't going to take me into the holiest place.
Right.
That isn't going to get me anything. That can't clothe upon me with glory. That can't do anything for me. Jesus wasn't raised from the dead and sat at the right hand of God because of all the good deeds he did.
Yeah,
That's shocking for people.
Yeah, think about that one. Yeah.
Jesus was not raised from the dead and sat at the right hand of God because he loved everyone. That's not why he was raised from the dead. He was not sat at the right hand because he loved everyone. That's not why he was sat at the right hand. He was sat at the right hand because he said, I won't lift one finger to exalt myself.
I won't come down off this cross.
He didn't appear, when it says he appeared in the holiest place in the heavens, he didn't appear with the fact that he loved everyone perfectly. He didn't come in front of the Father as a man and say, look, I loved everyone perfectly. And then God said, I see. And then he sat Jesus. No. It says he appeared with his blood. And then he was sat down. He appeared with his blood. Do you know what he was declaring? Not by my ability. Not by the fact that I loved. Not by the fruit I could produce. Not by any of that will I be exalted to the right hand. But by you, O God.
Yeah.
Not by strength of my hand, but by strength of your hand, O God. That's why he was sat at the right hand of God.
Wow.
So now, if I want to be a follower of Jesus, now I see what sat him at the right hand of God.
Right.
And now I am a follower of his way.
Yes.
And what was his way? I hate to break it to people. Yes, he loved, but that wasn't his way. His way produced love. And so we don't focus on the love, we focus on the way.
Right.
And then that way will then also, on our behalf, produce love. So the way of Jesus was, he said, not by my ability to produce God's fruit will I be exalted to the right hand, but by you, O God. That's why he appears in the heavenly place with his blood. The Bible says the life of the flesh is in the blood. So what was Jesus declaring by appearing with the blood? He was declaring, not by the flesh will I be sat at the right hand of God. Because you see the blood run out of the flesh and it declares the death of the flesh. And so Jesus was declaring, not by the strength of the flesh will I be sat at the right hand of God. Even though I love perfectly, it will not be by my ability to love perfectly that I'll be sat at the right hand of God. But it will be by you and your strength, O God.
Wow. And the walls came tumbling down.